being here with us today. Thank you to Miami Community News for sponsoring this program. And thank you all for tuning in. We're live today every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to Javier, my amazing assistant producer and behind the scenes. And all my family and friends who like, comment, and share this show. Your support is 100% appreciated and everything to me. We have some amazing guests who braved coming out in the pandemic to talk with us today. Yeah. First up is Kechi Okpala. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
CCO, Chief Communications Officer of KechThis, Inc., hailing from Miami. You are from half Bahamian and half Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And here you put your own spin on the urban demographic. In 2016, you started your own brand. Since then, you've created really a nice niche for yourself. That's how we met, through kind of like some multicultural projects in marketing, entertainment, fashion, government, lifestyle. I'm loving what you're doing. I probably just butchered your bio, my bad. But how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. A little jet lag, but I'm good.
Yeah, you just got back from the motherland.
Yes, ma'am.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, it was interesting to see the difference between how the US is handling COVID versus the UK and then versus Nigeria. So it's interesting to see how it's being done. I mean, leaving, I had to take a test, they screen you at each stop.
Yeah.
Coming back, all I had to do was fill out a form.
On paper, I hear.
Yeah.
As well, which is just ridiculous.
It was weird. I was
the
like,
amount of paper they must
me if
be
I
using.
took a test, if I'm negative. So it's just like a free for all. So I could see the difference. It's clear.
So when you went over there, you had to do some sort of, it was way more serious, basically.
Yeah.
And then what is Nigeria like? Because I've never been there.
So Nigeria is like New York meets ATL meets Cali meets a little bit of the Bahamas. So it's a little bit of everything. You can find something, everything there, you name it, you can find it. So I was in Lagos, Nigeria, and Lagos is a lot of like Brooklyn, the hustle and bustle, people everywhere. There's lifestyle, there's food, there's a little bit of everything, traffic, but it was good. It was needed. Yeah.
So what do you do when you go there? Are you seeing family? Are you got business going on over there as well? International?
A little bit of both. I see family. I do a lot of consulting, which is great, and just with trying to bridge the demographic between Africans in the diaspora, Africans in Africa, and everyone in between that wants to directly connect or indirect. So whether it be to the culture or to trade, agric, I'm that go-to connect the dots person.
Yeah. I read the other day that Africa in 2020 was, I think, the largest growing economy in 2020.
I can believe it.
So watch out, China.
I mean, if China's there, I mean,
they have the fastest growing middle class, I believe.
China.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, they're in Nigeria now, so I mean,
money.
they do. I mean, but imagine they're everywhere.
Yes,
it's like
that is correct.
They're everywhere. I mean, and not to say that's a bad thing. They're just everywhere.
So, should we tell people how we met? I feel like we should share that story.
You can. I think it's good. It tells a lot about what we do as professionals.
Yeah.
And now we're in front of the camera, so I think that's a good start.
Yeah, and it pumps up David's brand.
That too.
As well. We got to share some love for my mentor. He actually doesn't like it when I call him that.
Okay.
But he low-key is my mentor.
Okay. I like that. That's a good thing.
David Pierre-Louis, who recently he just won a Techstars award, I think, actually.
Okay.
He's a Haitian entrepreneur, has roots in Miami, Haiti, and Seattle. So
Mm-hmm.
all over coastal. And he has an amazing coffee line. And we met through David. He
Yeah.
connected us when
Yeah.
he was doing like that fantastic event. He always has great ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him to have, I'm grateful that he
Connected
brought
us.
you in my life.
Yeah. And look, we're here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Why don't you share with the viewers a little what you do? And then I would love to ask you, because you've been here in Miami, how has Miami changed over the years?
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
because as a public relations professional, you are part of the guiding narrative of the city, right? Like
Definite.
you tell the stories, you shape the scene.
Definite.
So talk to me, tell me tell
Okay.
everybody.
Well, as you introduced me, Kechi Okpala, I head KechThis Inc., which is a marketing, PR, and event production company. Um, and with being Miami, as we know, is multicultural. I'm born and raised in Miami. So, with going to school and meeting people, Miami's a place where you can find anything you want, when you want, how you want. But in growing up, in that, I mean, it's very similar to beach life. I mean, we grew up with having our swimsuits in the trunk of the car. I mean, so whenever you're ready, beach day, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And how many people can relate to something like that? I mean, being under 21 and living on South Beach. I mean, spring break. I mean, that's the hangout spot, whether you're visiting or not. You knew
Mhm.
that you could just be around and be in the scene. So, watching Miami grow and change, look at Wynwood. I
Yeah.
mean, look how that has just exploded and imploded in so many different ways. I mean, if you're from here, you knew what that was. I mean, long time ago, you couldn't even drive through that neighborhood. I mean,
Right.
at some point in time, and look at it now. It's
Yeah.
like, it's the bubbling, most happening place to be. So to see it evolve in that, I think says a lot about just the people of Miami and how we just can come together and still be that one city. It also shows how we're separate in the same that, one block you can go get a cafe con leche, the
Mhm.
other block you can, go get maduros or chicharrones, and look, I'm Nigerian Bahamian and I know all of that, what it tastes like and how to cook it too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, I mean, that says a lot to just what Miami's made of. And with that is now being able to direct, what do you say, not returnees, but new people coming into the scene, families, and being able to shape that, not just about being beach life or club life, but
Mhm.
how do you make it a part of your home? How do you make Miami your home?
Yeah.
And being able to be a part of so many different organizations and brands that help build that. I'm very excited. Look at DJ Khaled. Like, I can proudly say I used to represent DJ Khaled, and look at him now. You
Oh,
know what I
cool.
mean?
I didn't know
So
that. Well, fun
imagine all
fact.
those, all those kinds of things. So it says a lot to, what we do in terms of shaping the community, shaping just the happenings, the buzz, and keeping the community aware at the same time too.
Mhm. Well, how exciting. I've only been here for 10 years, but I love the city. It's beautiful. There's so many different cultures here, which equals diversity of food, something that's very important to me.
Yep.
And there's tons of fun things to do
Yeah.
outdoors and
Yep.
activities and things like that. So in the Bay Area, it's similar in those ways. People always ask me, oh, which do you like more, the Miami or the Bay? And I always say, well, I like them both for the same reasons, very equally. It's
Mm,
just different cultures here than you get in the Bay and different activities and things, but still
the
great.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the similarities in it?
Similarities with, so you have just both urban areas with lots of different people
Okay.
of different cultures,
Okay.
which means diversity of food mostly is like the thing that highlights it to most. Obviously, you get other pluses with the diversity of culture. You get diversity of opinions and things,
Okay.
culture and
Okay.
all of that stuff. But to me, I'm like, I can go out and if I'm in the Bay, there is like 20 different types of food I can eat
Okay.
here as well. lots of different choices. Where you want to go tonight? Let's travel. Let's do a little culinary exploration. Okay. And then the outdoor activities, very diverse selection.
Yeah.
Like here, you've got the beach. You can go to the Everglades. You can do skydiving over the ocean, the hang gliding, the camping, the springs, scuba, snorkel, water, jet ski, blah, blah, blah. In the Bay, I'm like, what up? Kayak. Let's go to the mountain. Let's go for a hike. Let's snowboard. I could even hit the beach there, but it's not the same. The beach in Cali is not like the beach here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But at least I have a diversity of things
to do
gotcha. That are outdoors, and I love nature.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about, this past year obviously has been an intense transformation of growth, and you work with a lot of, urban demographics, urban neighborhoods. What are some of the biggest challenges that urban demographics, face today?
In terms of what, neighborhood, in terms of
living their best life, fulfilling their purpose?
Challenges.
I know that's like I just threw a really big at one at
you.
We just went from like culinary tour to Black Lives Matter, Kechi.
I think what I've seen, especially within Miami, gentrification has been a challenge.
Yes.
A huge challenge in a lot of the heritage neighborhoods of Miami. And it now being, changed, or the story being rewritten. And a lot of it comes with a lot of history that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, look at Muhammad Ali when he used to train, down here in South Florida. I mean, Josephine Baker, Billie Holiday. I mean, a lot of some of these places that are in Overtown and Liberty City and places like Richmond Heights, you don't even know, you walk right past it. You won't even know that it's a piece of history that you can't even change or write home about. I mean, so I feel like a lot of that doesn't is doing a disservice to, yes, we want to, I don't want to say upgrade, but yes, you want to change the neighborhood, uplift it, develop it, but at the same time, who's responsible for holding those stories, those memories, those treasures? You don't know who to turn to now.
Totally.
And I think that's something that we have to do more about, just in terms of, yes, embracing the change and the fun, but also keeping home to our roots too. I mean, because it says a lot about the city at the same time.
Well, you can count on me anytime you want me to shout out anybody or anything like that.
No problem. I know we have to stay focused on the camera.
Okay.
We have to look front. I know we're like, girlfriend, let's talk.
But any last shout outs? Where can people get in touch with you, etc.?
So yeah, KechThis Inc. Like I said, we are on everything KechThis. That's with a K, KechThis.com, on Instagram, on Facebook. Like our slogan, if it's not catchy, it's not you. So if there's any resources you need, or to connect dots both with the community and with small businesses, I mean, we're the go-to. If you want to know a little bit more about what Miami has to offer, both locally and at a state level, I mean, we're the ones to point you into the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't wait till this quarantine's over. We can go have bevies.
Yeah, we can have bevies. Shout out to the Urban. That's a new facility
go there.
that I represent. Historic Virginia Key Beach Park.
Right. Love that.
Maat Nail Polish, vegan CBD.
Okay, shout it all
nail
out.
Polish.
Yes, I want to have all of them on the show.
And they're all local. I'm all about supporting local at the end of the day, because it says a lot about the local business industry and the small business industry, and how we're just evolving and developing our own brand. So, like I said.
Well, Miami Community News is all about supporting local too. They've been doing that for over 60 years. As I've been able to be on this show and come to the studio every week, I'm starting to learn so much more about them. And it's been such a pleasure.
Definitely.
So let's go to the Urban. next week.
Let's go to the urban.
Catch us at the urban next week. Thank you, Kechi.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
As we transition to our next guest, I do want to share this past week was pretty exciting. We stirred up some interesting comments on social media. It was quite exciting to experience my first kind of like a challenge type of discourse in the comments. I don't know if any of you guys saw that there was a response to the comments I made about systemic racism last week. And I just wanted to remind people that, if you want to support people of color and woman founder, you can do so by purchasing my book and shopping my family's CBD line at bffhemp.com. And thank you to the woman who had that nice discourse with me. It was nice to kind of banter with you about the things we didn't really see eye to eye on. With that, I want to welcome to the show RJ Wolfe, author and investor. RJ, you were inspired by the new prophecies of several major world religions to write your latest thriller. And in addition to history and theology, you maintain a deep curiosity in philosophy, politics, and current events. And you combine those into your book, The Last Tales of Drayden, which I have read and loved. It's like sci-fi, kind of the future. To me, it really spoke on a really deep level. I really loved it a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here and great to see you again.
Yeah.
The major world religions and theology has always been a source of inspiration for me to look into and kind of create with one solitary message that we spend so much time worrying about, to speak to your book, which is a great book, by the way.
Thank you.
Speaking about how we spend so much time, how we're different, how we're a different color or a different religion or a different race or a different gender. We don't spend enough time on how we're similar. So what I wanted to do was write a story that combined all of the major cultures and civilizations and religions and kind of wove a common thread of how we are similar, how we're all part of the same common thread that goes back thousands of years. And that's where the inspiration for The Last Days of Drayden came.
Such a good book.
Thank you.
And I know you have some exciting things to share about it. Some developments that you've been working on.
Yeah, no, really, really exciting. When I wrote the book, I had no idea where it was going to go or what it was going to do. But then it caught on, and an old friend of mine who was in production read the book and said, "Hey, RJ, this has to be a series." I'm like, "I don't know how to write scripts. I just write novels." And he was like, "No, you got to make this a series." So I ran for the door when he said that, and he said, "Come back, you got to do it." Getting some major backers of common household names that we know. I'm not going to speak to them now because we're under contract, but some major backers, and they've been guiding us on how to create for the screen. And so we have developed 5 seasons that are going to be translated into the screen.
Super exciting.
What's even exciting now is that we just launched a service where we have 2 full seasons that are going to be available to our fans and readers starting next week of storyline that isn't in this book or on Netflix. It's going to follow the characters, where they came from and where they're going, origin stories. It's so exciting. It's going to be an incredible production. And it's on for $3.99 a month. You can just follow the Drayden saga. That's something we've really been really excited about.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to launching it. And the first 3 subscribers from your show will get a signed copy of The Last Days of Drayden.
That's very exciting. I love that. Thank you for giving my fans a little something extra.
Of course.
I've read this book personally. I read it very quickly. It was very engaging. I'm hoping there's a next one.
There is. So when I wrote it, I didn't know how many. I thought this was it, and then that was a story. But then I got so much feedback from my fans and readers that wanted to know what else happens.
Yeah, it's so good.
Thank you.
I would read it again. It's very exciting. And you read it so quickly because you're just so eager to what comes next, that I think if I read it again the second time, I'll get even more from it because there's also this fantastic imagery throughout it. that, you're imagining these lands and these worlds that you've created. It's a great piece of literature.
It does take place in the future. So it's a future story, but it reads like a medieval adventure. Because the future that I've kind of seen and put together from solid research and events that are happening now that I predicted in 2017 when I wrote the
Yeah, I
novel.
know.
You look
That's
around, it's happening now.
crazy.
You go to chapter 2, it's happening now. Um,
There's something you're not telling us, RJ.
it's all in there.
Oh
It's all
my
in there.
goodness.
But so when it was created, I didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to do. But then my fans and readers said they wanted to know more, and I asked them, "Do you want a prequel or a sequel?" Overwhelmingly, we got responses for a prequel. So I had promised them 6 novels coming out, and instead of doing 6 novels now, I decided to write just 6 seasons for the screen.
Okay.
In addition to the 2 full seasons that are coming out next week on Patreon/The Drayden Saga. Next week, and it's going to follow some major characters, 2 of the most favorite ones that people identified to me, and we're just so excited about the world that we're creating, and the following, and the excitement that we've gotten for it.
I know I want to talk about some other cool stuff that you've been up to, but do people do any cosplay stuff with this yet?
Not that I'm aware of.
I bet they would, because the characters in there lend to that type of dress up,
That's one of the major feedbacks was they love the characters are so rich.
Yeah.
They love the characters. They connect with the characters. Yeah. And that makes me happy as a writer, because I did what I could to bring them to life, and I'm proud that it seems that I've done that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing it with us, your thoughts and creativity. It's very enjoyable. I want to talk a little bit about what you've been up to in the pandemic, because in the middle of also your book stuff and turning it into a series, you've also been doing some very important work for the people. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So as I was creating Drayden, I connected really with what could happen if we don't take action now. And one of the things that I saw back in March was the pandemic started, but then I was doing operational work for a venture capital fund out of Miami, the largest one in the Southeast United States, and I was reviewing the CARES Act. And when I saw the CARES Act was going to expire in July, it threw me for a loop, because in March, 60% of the companies that reported said that if COVID continues, they'll be out of business by the end of the year. So when July comes around, when the CARES Act was set to expire, there's going to be less jobs for people to go back to, and less companies that are going to have a stimulus, because they're not going to be any companies. So I created a petition in March that generated 1.7 million signatures.
It really blew up.
It blew up. It was actually one of the most successful petitions in U.S. history.
Wow.
And it got us in front of the Capitol Hill, and in front of Congress and the Senate.
Very
and we
exciting.
presented the list to key members of the House and Senate, and we sat with them and told them what we needed and our demands, and they've been battling back and forth. But that's so important to me, because no matter how great we do, we can't forget where we came from and the people around us that helped us get there. And that and I get heartbreaking letters from people saying that they have to have their kids stay with relatives, because they can't afford to have them stay with them, and they're in danger of being evicted.
It's rough.
It's terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating.
It is. So what do you think that they're going to do? Do you think we're going to get some new relief from the government?
Well, we'll have to get something, because if we don't, February is going to be calamitous, and we're going to have increased disease, homelessness, crime, poverty, and the economy is going to take a tailspin. So what I do when I'm not writing novels and creating screenplays is I have a firm that assists entrepreneurs in setting them up to receive investor money. And
very good.
Investors are not sure where to put money, looking for the best possible deals, because we don't know what the market's going to do next year. So with that, I've created services for entrepreneurs getting started, have to make a pivot from their job that they don't have anymore and that isn't coming back, that had to create their own jobs. So I created my firm, DIAB Venture Partners, to provide services to set them up to receive investor capital. And another exciting thing that I'm doing is one of the subscriptions that I have offered is if you do a 1 year prepaid, you also get a Oculus virtual reality system.
I love it. Virtual reality. Woo!
Because tech is the wave of the future,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to get people excited about it. And it's great exercise. It has good software and gaming. For one of my favorite ones is a sword fighting one, where you really are in there and you're shaking your hands and you're fighting and it's really good cardio.
That sounds
And
cool.
there's also exercise.
So
in there
where
too.
can entrepreneurs go to get in touch with you about if they want to get some consulting around venture capital?
So diabventurepartners.com, DIAB venturepartners.com is my website. Instagram, it's RJ underscore Wolfe underscore. And there's a link in my bio there to take you to the website. Convert Also, the last days of Drayden is the Drayden Saga on Instagram. In my bio, there's a link to the subscription service for the really exciting 2 full seasons that are not seen anywhere, exclusive for our members, private area. Also, my Instagram, the Drayden Saga, and following the petition and is moveon.org, and just put petitions RJ Wolfe and you'll see what we're doing with that. And we're just really, really excited, and I'm blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be in a situation and a position where I can reach out and do what I can to mitigate the disaster that we're facing.
It's true. And with that, I thank you for taking the time to come in today and risking it. Everyone should be staying home, staying well. Thank you so much to Miami Community News for sponsoring this program. Thank you, every single one of you, for tuning in. Comment, like, and share, and really just have a great rest of your week.